Hey guys, welcome back to another Transparent Couch. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tam, and here on the Transparent Couch, it's not about where you're sitting,
but who's sitting with you.
All right, guys, so let's jump into this. We are doing our first Q&A. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah,
it's our first Q&A on this channel.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull up the questions here. We asked on our community tab in the Faith and Francis channel and on my YouTube channel, Laugh and Grow with Tam. So the first question is, did you have any New Year resolutions? No, I didn't.
No.
Not really. Not goals. They weren't new. They were goals that I already had in 2022, and I was just trying to continue them in 2023.
I understand, people think going to January, you kind of see it as a clean slate. Like, I get that. But there are certain things that we want to, get better at. And, you could start that, like, December 29th if you wanted. You know what I mean? So, no, I didn't have any personally. I have some goals that I'm working towards, but not specifically, like, New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely have goals I'm working towards, not necessarily a New Year's resolution. Mm-hmm. I just have stuff I've been working on before, and I plan on continuing to do that. So Hopefully that answered your question. Also, what inspired you to make a YouTube channel? What inspired this is what we've always wanted to do. Even before my channel, we've always wanted to do a family vlog because we just felt like it would be fun and we felt like we could bring some joy into other people's lives. We have amazing children. We're amazing people. We thought it would be great to do a vlog. Mm-hmm. And essentially, that's kind of how my first channel kind of started off in a weird way. Yeah. But I think we have the capability of showing people true family, the good and the bad, how our life is set up right now. I think that's why we chose. And we also feel like God led us to do this.
Yeah, and the thing about the family channel, the way it started was kind of random in a way. It's definitely what we wanted to do from the beginning. But the cool thing about it is I was telling Tam when we did the first vlog, y'all know that was our anniversary vlog. So it's like, okay, people are going to watch it because it's anniversary. We traveled somewhere. It's like a dope location. But my question was, were people going to be interested in our every single day, like day to day, just regular life? And you guys are. So thank you so much for, supporting and jumping in and watching. But it's definitely a joy to do these videos and to see y'all react, and especially the positive, which is overwhelmingly more positive than negative, positive feedback.
We've been asked the $1 million question. Everybody asks us this all the time.
Does, yeah.
And we get the same answer every time. But the question is, will you have any more kids? And the answer to that is...
Yeah. We have a whole Transparent Couch for this question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. Yeah, so we definitely want more kids. And I think sometimes it's funny because people be like, y'all want more? Or some people are like, why not have more?
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate to be curious to know, mm-hmm. like, I wonder if they want more kids. I think that's absolutely appropriate. I always wonder that about people. Like, I wonder if they want more kids. But to question someone's decision on whether they want more kids or not, like, you really want more kids? Like, why do you want more kids? Or, or to tell people they should have more kids. I think sometimes it's been a conversation around the sensitivity of this topic, mm-hmm. because it is a sensitive topic. Just know for us, we don't mind the question at all. We don't mind people asking if we want more kids. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's when you try to force, when people have tried to force, which this particular person who asked was not doing that at all. They just simply asked, are you having more kids? And our answer is yes.
I think the follow-up question is what you don't want, right? It's when you answer the question and say yes or no, the follow-up question after to say, why do you want more kids? Or why don't you? And it's like, we don't need to follow. Like, you asked the question, I answered it, let's move on. Like Tam said, one thing I've had to realize just with this question in particular is it is sensitive, because you could play it off like, no, I don't want any more kids, to somebody unknowingly that wants kids that can't have them. So it can be a really sensitive topic. That's why we really only answer this question or talk about it when we're asked, for the most part, because we don't know who we're necessarily reaching out there.
Okay, I got the question. What do you use for your skin? And how do you feel about your locks as they grow?
This question can be a whole separate video for her. I'll just say this one thing. I am proud of her with the locks because I didn't believe she was going to keep them in. Because Tam was the type that would change her hair on the drop of a dime. So I didn't think she was going to keep them. So I'm proud that she has. I'm proud of her. So.
As far as my skin is concerned, even when my skin was going through some huge, like, some things going on, I always get compliments on my skin. And I used to ask, like, when I was younger, I understood. Like, I used to have, like, blemish-free skin. My skin used to be clear as day, like, so clear. It wasn't until I got to college when, like, hormone stress, my face just started acting out. But now what I do for my skin is I go to a naturopathic doctor, and she has taught me so much about how things affect my skin, what I eat, the type of products I'm using on my face, which I've always been very particular about what I use on my face, which is why I always get compliments even from professionals of just how good my skin is. And that's not me like boosting myself up. That's just skincare is important to me because my mom instilled that in me at a young age. But I will say what I use on my face now is I use a natural oatmeal acne soap from the naturopathic doctor that I see, which I can link her channel to you. She has a YouTube channel. It's called The Organic Sister. It's Organic Sister, sorry. And she does ship. So if you're interested in that, let me know because I can link that. But also, I go in and she does bentonite clay masks on my face and other scrubs on my face. But the most important thing is the upkeep of my skin. So morning and night routine, I wash my face with the oatmeal acne soap. Another good soap that you can use is Burt's Bees Natural Acne Cleanser. Also, I use a Dr. Woods black soap. I use the body wash, the liquid form, and I use it on my face because it's a natural exfoliant. So I'll use that on my face at night as well, just kind of rinse off the dirt and everything like that. But I also use just a regular aloe vera plant. I cut it up into chunks so you can use it for about a week and a half. But you take it and you put it directly on your face at night. Rub it. Get all that aloe vera gel on your face because it pulls out any impurities in your skin. And it helps flatten out any blemishes you have, just things like that. So that, on top of, like he said, a whole video could be about this. On top of, I use the naturopathic doctor that I see. I also use her shea butter that she orders directly from Africa. And it is clinically tested for any bacteria. Top of the line shea butter. I put it on my face. I used to be against oil being on my face, but I put it directly on my face. And it has brightened my skin. It has made my skin so much smoother, and it has brought clarity to my skin. I never knew that could do that. So that's what I use on my skin, just so you know.
And by the way, they do say that men with beards have really good skin, especially underneath the hair. Just
Of course, he had to put that in there. So, how do I feel about my locks? Simply put, I love them. They are liberating. I don't really have to do a lot. I cannot wait. They're in the awkward phase right now, so I can't wait till they like grow out and like fully lock because y'all not going to be able to tell me nothing about my hair. So, we have another question. I know you were on your health journey. What recipes do you recommend? Have you tried intermittent fasting or OMAD? I have not tried the OMAD diet. I've heard about it. I don't even know what it stands for. I just heard it. No, Tamara has not done that. No. I have done intermittent fasting. That actually works really well for me, as well as keeping track of calories. As far as my caloric intake. As far as what recipes I recommend, I don't use recipes. I just wing it and do what I want to do. However, I will say that the eating, what has worked for me is cutting out fried food and fast foods, the 2 F's. When I cut out fast food and fried food, my body responds almost immediately. As well as, you all know that I am pescatarian. Every now and then, and I mean every now and then, Cody tell you, I may have a piece of chicken. But I'll go months without chicken, and then I might have like a piece or every now and then. And it's typically, I stay away from fried. Like, there was fried chicken all around me all weekend. I didn't touch a piece. But then I had a piece of baked chicken yesterday. But my body, responds to the pescatarian diet. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just eating seafood. Because technically, and you can get technical, some people may agree or disagree, but most people would agree that fish is not considered a meat.
Yeah, technically it's not, which was weird to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, but anyway, I'm pescatarian. So I eat mostly seafood and veggies, fruits, all that good stuff. That has helped me. The weight that has remained is due to hormones and stress levels. So once I get that regulated, the rest of that stubborn fat is going to come off. But that is what I am doing. Cody, you want to talk about what you're doing?
I have never done OMAD because that takes into account you getting the nutrients that you need in one meal. And I don't know if I just have the mental capacity right now to do the work to make sure that my meal has that. I've tried intermittent fasting. It works really well with me too. That's actually how I got used to drinking black coffee. Was when I first intermittent fast. I was drinking coffee straight, and it was disgusting for about a month, and then I got used to it.
This next question is kind of more for you. I did want to chime in on it, but it says, "Hi, I would like to know more about Cody's family and friends. What are they like? Is it possible to see a vlog of Cody hanging out with one of his friends?"
Yeah. So the funny part about that is, especially the friend circle here in the city, really all of my friends are her friends.
Yeah, we all have the same.
We have the same friends. Even, my guy friends, they were your friends first.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. So
we rock and roll with our friends from college who now are friends at church. We literally were in college and church together. And Cody was at the church before me, not too much longer before me, but he was there before me. And with him being there before me, we kind of just knew the same people. We just befriended the same people. So it just kind of worked out that way. And Cody's an introvert, like extreme introvert. He has he has two main friends that he talks to on the regular, but one is super busy and is also an introvert. And then the other one is our mutual best friend. I was actually best friends with him first before him and Cody became best friends. But they talk more than we do. They talk on the phone every single day. And I'd be like, well, hello to you too, but they're really close. And then his wife and I are really, really good friends. So it's just funny. And then his other really close friend, the one I said was an introvert and is super busy, his wife is also one of my really close friends. So it's just kind of how it worked out. But y'all, we really don't hang out with friends that often. We used to all the time, all the time. And then life just happened. We're all in a place of just marriage, kids, family planning, just all that stuff. So when we see each other, it goes, and a lot of times, y'all, we don't vlog those moments just because we want to just enjoy those moments.
Yeah.
I will ask sometimes, hey, do y'all mind if we pull the camera out? But a lot of times we're so caught up in the moment, we forget to pull the camera out, honestly.
Yeah.
And if you go back and watch some of our earlier vlogs, we actually do have vlogs with Cody's grandparents when we've gone to visit them. Mm-hmm. Also, there's a vlog where we went to see Cody's sister, and she's in the vlog with his nephew. But Cody's family is kind of spread out. So my family is in the same spot. We go there as often as we do. Cody's grandparents used to be here in the city with us, but they moved away. Mm-hmm. And so they're further away than my family. So it's easier sometimes to just get to my family. And then, I'll let you speak on the other stuff.
We hang out more with your family, and that's not because, there's an issue on my, there's no issue. It's just like she said, everybody's spread out. Where with her family, everybody's in the same spot. As far as vlogging those moments, I don't hang out like that. I don't necessarily think I'm fully an introvert. I just think I'm busy all the time. That's what it feels like anyway. And I don't. And what I have to get better at personally, Tam does a good job of, I'm gonna go hang with so and so today, and she'll go, y'all seen her go hang with Paige, or she's going to hang with somebody in a couple hours or so. But I don't do a good job of planning hangout times for me, because in my head, I just think of the next project or something else I can crank out.
The best Cody will do is invite a friend over to watch the game. And that's it. And he'll be super stoked about it. And oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get some wings. I'm going to do this. But
because the friend that's not an introvert that she mentioned, he's the one that recently sent a text to me and my other friend and was like, hey, brothers, can we plan a day in February to hang out? He'll do that. But
he's the planner. The other two, they're it's not that they don't want to hang out. They just, their brains don't think about that. So it just doesn't happen. And Cody probably, if a friend called right now, was like, hey, bro, let's get together next week. He'd be like, okay. But the reason make an issue about him being an introvert is that he's completely fine if he doesn't. Like, it's not going to affect him. Like, man, I haven't hung out with my brothers. It has to be like a few years for Cody to realize he hasn't hung out with his friends. Like, man, I need some guy time with the guys, you know. But the other friend keeps them on it, so they kind of stay in rotation because he'll be like, "Listen, y'all, it's been like 2 months since we've hung out. Like, what we gonna do?" And so, yeah.
Or he'll see me and be like, "I ain't seen you in a minute," like type deal. So, but yeah. So
Cody's completely content being by himself. The next question: do you ever plan on doing a meet and greet? Did we ever plan on doing a meet and greet, babe?
It's funny getting that question on this channel because you've got it on yours before. I'm not against it because
it's gonna come over here with no funny, crazy stuff.
I say I don't mind doing a meet and greet at all. What about you?
No, I don't mind it at all. Obviously, we'd have to figure out like how to work that because how do you even do that? Like, where do you plan to meet people? Like, where do you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you vet people to like make sure they're not trying to harm you or do something crazy? Like, you know, but you'd like to think that all of your subscribers are genuinely for you and want to wish you well, but we also can't be naive to say we're just gonna walk in a room full of strangers and all of these people are safe, and you know, so there's ways to go around it. I'm gonna look into it because I know a lot of other YouTubers do meet and greets, whether we hire security or something like that. But I would love to do that. I would love to meet the people that have supported us. Like, that would be awesome.
What is your ideal date?
What is your ideal date? Where we are now, if we could just be alone, away from the kids, have some good food, and watch a good like show, that's ideal for us.
That's so true.
Wouldn't you agree with that? Like
us spending time together alone from the kids.
That's ideal. We're movie junkies and TV junkies. Like, we love a good movie. We love a good TV series.
We're a good binge couple. Like, I say that because I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. We're not waiting up on Tuesday at 8 o'clock on CBS because our show's coming on. Like, we don't do that.
We're binge. We're Netflix binge people. Hulu binge people.
Yeah, like, we find shows that we can just watch a whole season of.
And we're into it. And then afterwards, it's like, we get a little break. And like 2 weeks later, we might find something else we like. Yeah. Yeah, we're good for that. Y'all saw we've done a date night. We literally ordered a pizza, sat in the bed, and we just had a blast. And the kids were away from us, and we had peace and quiet. And that was amazing. That's an ideal date. Another ideal date for us would be able to just, like, get away and, like, sleep in, like, a really nice hotel bed in a tropical place. Yeah, and I expressed to make this more of a thing recently, but I've told Tam I don't like just going to eat and going home. I don't like let's go do something. Like, we got food at the house. Like, the one time we went axe throwing. That was one of the things where I was having a rough day, and she decided to take me axe throwing, which was really cool. What is your idea on couples having a joint bank account? We have one. Does that tell you our idea on couples having a joint bank account? Everybody's mindset is different, but we believe that all the money that comes into the house belongs to all of us. It doesn't matter who brings it in, who's bringing it in. We're going to allocate it and use it for what needs to be done for the house. Yeah. If I made money and there's something that needs to be taken care of for the house, I'm going to use the money. Cody, just being transparent, Cody is the number one breadwinner in the house. So he covers all of the bills, and then the money that I bring in from YouTube and other endeavors, I just put towards whatever we need it for. Mm-hmm. Like, if I see it's in the account and we need something, we get it. It's not a your money versus my money thing. And I think the your money versus my money thing comes into play when you have your money versus my money. And I know when we first got married, if we didn't put all of our money towards bills, that was it. They weren't getting paid. So there was just no such thing as your money versus my money. We weren't making a lot of money when we first got married. And the roles have flip-flopped so many times in our marriage. Because at one point she was the main breadwinner. Now I am. Our roles have just flip-flopped. Yeah. Both of us have always brought in income. Like, now that I think about it, we've always brought in income of some type of way. Yep. Whether it was who was making the bulk, who was covering all the bills. But it was still all in the same pot because, baby, we need all this money. It's not like we came together like, I make 6 figures, so does she. So,
You know what I mean? Like, that's where I think the your money versus my money comes into play. But when you have to use all of it, ain't no such thing.
The other question is, will you share your testimonies on how you became Christian?
Ladies first.
And we're going to end on that note because that was the bulk of our questions. So for me, how I became a Christian, I like to phrase this how I came into knowing Jesus Christ, how I became in relationship with him. I grew up in the church, and for most people that doesn't mean anything. You can grow up in church and still not be a Christian.
Yeah.
But for me, I grew up in the church, and at a young age, I was introduced to the love of God. And I had a love for God that I couldn't explain. I had faith that I couldn't explain. And when I prayed, he listened, he answered. And that meant a lot for me as a child. And when I grew older, as much as I tried to run from certain things, it was in me and it was on me and I couldn't run. But it wasn't until I got to college and had to make a choice. I was in college. Yep. There was nobody waking me up every Sunday and every Wednesday to go to Bible study, Sunday to go to church. There was nobody telling me I had to do anything. I had a choice to live for God or to live for the world. And I chose God. It was hard, absolutely. Were there things I wanted to do that I saw my peers doing? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I knew, and I'm appreciative for my parents for raising me up and laying that foundation, because without it, with the shaky foundation, man, I could living a different life right now. So without that foundation, I would have never met Cody.
Mm-hmm. We met at church.
At church. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't until I got to college where it really laid it out for me to say, yeah, I choose you, God. It may not be easy, and it's never been easy, and it's difficult even now, but I'm grateful.
I feel like we have a similar story as far as growing up. I didn't start in church. Like, I do remember a time where my grandma and my mom, like, they didn't go. But as early as like 8 or 9 was when I started going to church. And I remember being excited getting a Bible for Christmas from my grandma. I used to help my mom even when she used to preach with some of her sermons and stuff, because I would kind of be able to know where she was going with certain scriptures. But I hit that same crossroads like she did when I became an adult, to say, okay, Cody, are you gonna live this because you want your parents to be happy, like, with how you turned out, or do you believe this for real? Like, what are you gonna do?
So there's that. Excited for our first question and answer video. We'll definitely have more of these as more questions roll out, as we gain more subscribers. We definitely want to have a place for people to go and kind of get to know us outside of the regular content that we do. So thank you all for submitting your questions. If you have more, go ahead and submit them in the comment, and we'll definitely do another part 2 video if need be. We love you guys, and we thank you all for watching, sticking around. This is a longer Transparent Couch just because we had to answer those questions, and we both like to ramble, so there's that. But yeah,
I want to thank all of you for your support, for your love, for your encouragement in the comments. Thank you guys so much for supporting. We love y'all. We'll see y'all later.
Bye. See you in the next video.
Bye.